Tom, are you okay?
I lost her.
Her?
She was gonna be this epic, trilogy-worthy character. I was gonna be the hottest writer in Hollywood, but I can't get past Act 1!
You need some writers group therapy. Hello and welcome to Writers Group Therapy.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Roshni. We're writers helping writers. Are you ready for your session? The doctors are in. So, summer, the best summer ever, we were talking about if you should hire a writing or career coach. And what is the difference between a coach and a mentor?
Yeah, I was thinking about all the projects I haven't finished yet and how either I'm stuck at some point or I just haven't had time or I need someone to yell at me to get it done. And I was thinking of hiring a writing coach. And I was thinking of asking one of my mentors, Barry Evans, to do that, to hire her to do that because she does do that kind of work. And I haven't had a chance to talk to her since we talked about that last.
You've
I've been
been
so
that
busy;
busy.
it's insane. Yeah, but the idea, is literally accountability. And when you're just on your own, you have so many things going on. You really need someone to help you get through it and to make sure you're crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's, so to speak.
hmm Sometimes it's nice. I actually worked with a career coach maybe about 2 or 3 years in. And his name is Paul, and he's not like an acting career coach per se. It's more like anything entertainment, just kind of like get you out of your rut sort of thing. Um, and he's actually the one that kind of turned me on to writing, to be honest. He's not a writing coach, but he was like, you've done so much stuff as an actor, you already see a lot of scripts. You probably know how to write a script. You just don't realize that you know how to write it. So he was the one who kind of got me thinking you should create your own projects.
Mm.
And so I credit him with that. And it was a really good thing. I'm trying to remember now because it's been a while. I think I worked with him for maybe 6 months, I want to say, and it was helpful because it really gives you a new perspective.
Well, that sounds a little like a manager. How is that different from a manager, or you were talking about a mentor, actually?
hmm well, I think with a mentor, you're not necessarily, you shouldn't, I think, pay them for their services. Honestly, to me, a mentorship is more like it's a friendship or a relationship that has evolved, you know
Hmm.
into like a mentor mentee kind of situation. But I don't, all the mentors I've had in my life, I've never paid them. If anything, we've just become really good friends. They're people, I would call at 9 o'clock and say, I've got this interview tomorrow. What should I say? What should I do? Or they would, send me an email at 10 at night and say, hey, I heard about this internship opening. You should apply, things like that.
Yeah.
But I never paid them for that help. And as far as a manager goes, I mean, a manager does guide your career, but they take 10%. So with this guy, with Paul, I was paying him for the service of guiding me. He wasn't my manager. He didn't operate as my manager
Yeah.
in any official capacity.
I guess it's kind of
So,
like the difference between a lawyer and an agent.
mhm.
A lawyer can, be your representative and send stuff out for you, but they want to get paid by the hour versus an agent that gets paid on commission. So I guess it's kind of the difference between which is harder to get. If you can pay someone to do the work and they'll do it, but the agents and the managers, you have to kind of win them over, have to get them to want to represent you.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I think especially in LA, my goodness, you can find a coach for anything, right? You can find an acting coach and you can find a career coach and you can find a life coach. And, it's really all that, it kind of just all falls under that same umbrella where you're paying somebody basically to get your butt in a gear, in whatever field it is that you're trying, whether it's dating or career or life guru stuff, right? You're paying them to kind of get you in motion.
Yeah. How do you? Well, that's what you want them to do, right?
Mhm.
So how do you? How do you know you found the right coach? I guess.
That's an interesting thing because so Paul was the only career coach I've ever worked with, and I didn't really shop around. There's actually a couple other I've been doing acting for a while now, so there's other acting career coaches that I'll see their emails and they'll pop up from time to time. And I always think, oh, I want to audit. And then I think I don't feel like driving for the free audit. So I stay home. But I think a lot of it is if you just jive. Recommendations. Paul was a recommendation from a friend. And I think if you just jive with them, if you work with them for a little bit and you're like, okay, I get your philosophy. I like what you have to say. If it doesn't feel like a good fit, don't keep doing it. If they're trying to steer you down a path that you're like, that's not the characters I play, that's not what I want to do with my career, then you don't go there. It's funny, I'm thinking now about your manager versus career coach question. I mean, yeah, because, in a way, like a manager does function a little bit like that. A manager would say, oh, you should take this type of role or you should pursue these kinds of projects. I think a career coach, though, they're a little more, even broader of a view, though, if that makes sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Sorry about that.
Broader in like looking at your whole career and everything you're doing versus
Yeah, yeah,
like
because they're not
what you're contracted for, kind of.
yeah, they're not submitting you for projects. A career coach isn't submitting you for projects. Just like if you hire a writing coach, you know, they're not going to submit you to they're not working as an agent for you. But I think they would probably take a broader view of your career and your strengths. They might steer you a certain way and say, "Hey, Tom, you're really good at writing action. Maybe you should keep writing action." But they also might challenge you in ways that you're like, "Oh, I never thought about writing
Yeah,
a comedy or a rom-com or something, animation that I never thought that was my wheelhouse." So I think they kind of take a more macro
yeah.
view, even more than a manager would
See,
of your career.
I think what that's a career coach would be great since I have so many different projects in different areas, as far as focusing what I want to do. Because I think, I've had a little angst lately about being pulled in too many directions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with the writing side of it, there I really just want like we talked about how you and I didn't go to school for screenwriting and this kind of stuff. I guess I just really want someone to whip me into shape and really get me back into focusing on theme and making sure my arcs are correct and I'm not missing beats and I'm not missing skipping ahead and forgetting to do
Hmm.
things. And it's really kind of just I think like I have good ideas and I have good structure. Like I understand where I want my story to go, but I don't always take all the steps to get from point A to point B. Well, I guess there's no steps between A and B. That was
a a point five. Well, you could hire a career coach to tell you if you should be doing all these producing and writing projects, and
exactly,
then
yeah,
hire a producing and or writing coach to help you with the craft of one of those, right?
right. I guess, and sometimes that's mentors. I do
Hmm.
have some people I can call with questions about that stuff, but sometimes they're just really busy. If you're a mentor and you're just you can't abuse that relationship because they're doing their stuff too.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to take that step to add someone to my writers team, as we've talked about before, and
Hmm.
focus on specific projects and specific goals instead of kind of people always say, oh, Tom, you're so busy, you have so many fingers and so many pots, and it's really cool, but at the same time I feel like I'm getting a little progress on a lot of things done, but I'm not getting a lot of progress on anything. So I think that's a negative. It's like you're
Yeah.
stretching yourself too thin, and it's great to have great ideas and different things and to pursue all kinds of dreams and goals, but if none of them get done because you've got too many, then they're kind of working against you.
Yeah. I mean, and that would be one thing I would say with a career coach is they would help you hone in on what you want to do. And I kind of view it too as like, yeah, working with a career coach is expensive, or working with a coach in general is expensive. I'm trying to remember
They don't do it for
what
free.
I what that would be a mentor. I think Paul was maybe 300 a month. I'm trying to remember what
A
I paid
month.
him. It's
Oh,
been a while.
That doesn't seem too bad for a month. How many hours would that like be?
I think we met for, like, an hour or 2 a week,
Okay,
once a week or
that's not
whatever.
bad.
Um, and I view coaching kind of like once you start working with them and you build that rapport, you don't have to work with them forever. If you need to, like, take a break because of funding or because you're busy or something, then go back for a tune-up and check in with them 6 months later or something, I don't see why you should be working with a career coach for, like, 5 years straight unless you really need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even a writing coach, I would think after a while, you should be kind of that well-oiled machine, and then you just go back to them for a tune-up, maybe every 6 months or something.
Hmm.
Kinda like having them on retainer or something. That
Yeah.
would be my view on having a coach, but
With all the scripts I haven't finished, I need them for several months. Like maybe like a month or two per script, and maybe by the end of the
Mhm.
year, I'd have like 4 or 5 scripts done and ready to start submitting. That'd be cool.
Do you know, how much, I guess that you haven't talked with Barry about
No,
fees or anything? Oh,
no.
okay.
She's probably
Yeah.
listening to this going, Tom, call me.
"Hi, Barry.
Hi,
Give us
Barry.
Twitter at us, tweet at us, and let us know." But yeah, I mean, so I think, I mean, I'll even say like life coaching services, and now we're going into like other realms here. The services can be like 1,000 or more
Oh,
a
easily.
month.
I actually,
Yeah.
I'm good friends with a life coach, and he's pretty new at it. But yeah, they do charge quite a bit, even a new life coach.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
$300 a month for a career coach is probably not bad when you think
yeah,
about it. But it's really just dependent on your needs and
yeah. You got to look
your
at the
season.
return on investment. If I spend,
Yeah.
even if I spend $1,000 on a writing coach, but it gets my script done and gets it into the right hands and gets produced, then
Hmm.
it was worth it. You have to know that you're really ready to commit to doing it, and make it take all, full advantage of it. I think is the biggest advice you could give. Is you're going to hire a writing coach, hire a
Yeah.
good one, hire someone you trust, and then follow through.
Yeah, don't do it like, honestly, if you were gonna do it now, Tom, I would say maybe wait until things have settled for you,
Yeah, like
'cause
after the
you won't get
summer.
the full
Yeah,
value.
no, we
Yeah,
got
you
too
wouldn't
many
get the full
things with
value.
comic cons and productions and things going on. It's gonna maybe in August or September I'll have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about for all of you, have you ever worked with a career coach or a writing coach or any kind of coach? Let us know. Let us know what your experiences were like, and if you have any recommends, let us know that too. You can find us online at writersgrouptherapy.com or on Twitter at WGTherapy. Individually,
I'm at Tom_Loveman on Twitter and Tom Loveman on Instagram.
and I'm at Moonlily Music on Instagram and at Roshni Lamino on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week.